trucks built to serve.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to First Things First on a Thursday morning. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Kevin Wilds, Chris Broussard, the gang's all here. Great night in the NBA last night. Lots to get to coming up. Ben Simmons injured last night. What does that now mean for the Sixers? That wasn't great, but we will discuss. Hey, how is Cam Newton going to handle the Bill Belichick treatment? We'll find out. And Allen Iverson weighing in on the great GOAT debate. I bet you his answer surprises you. But we will start in the bubble last night with the LA Lakers hosting the OKC Thunder. Very gracious hosts, I might add, allowing the Thunder to do as they please. Lakers shooting just 35% from the field in this one, shooting a season low 5 of 37 from deep. As for LeBron James and Anthony Davis, together shooting only 33%. That's their worst field goal percentage as teammates. So Lakers lose to the Thunder. They now fall to 2-2 in the bubble. Nick, I'll start with you. How concerning were the Lakers in their blowout loss to the Thunder last night?
This was the single worst offensive game the Lakers have played all year. And I think I'm going to surprise the audience here. But I've got a semi-major announcement, or I guess a couple of them. Based on what we've seen in the bubble, the Los Angeles Lakers aren't the best team in basketball. They're not the favorites to win the title. And based on what we've seen in the bubble, LeBron James isn't the best player in the league. So congratulations to the Phoenix Suns, who are clearly the favorites, and TJ Warren, who now holds the championship belt of best player alive.
From LeBron.
Because we need to base our analysis fully and totally and solely on these first 4 games of the bubble. And the Lakers have had their 3 lowest field goal percentages of the season. In the Clipper game, the Toronto game, and then the game last night. They have the worst offense in the bubble. So listen, clearly LeBron's old and busted. Anthony Davis wasn't that good, and the Lakers be lucky if they get out of the first round. I mean, that's one way to do it.
That's true.
The other way is they ain't shooting well. They got no motivation after they beat the Clippers in the one game they needed to win in the bubble when LeBron shut down Kawhi and Paul George at the end of the game after hitting the game-winning shot. I know that happened so long ago we forgot about it. It was 5 days ago. And so because of that, they are, listen, lack of motivation, LeBron not playing well, and the single worst shooting any team has had thus far in the bubble and maybe all season over the last week. It's Broussard. It's been a perfect storm of suck. But I am, contrary to how I started, I am not going to overreact. I think the Lakers will be absolutely fine. And once they get the real LeBron James back, they will look like they have looked, Broussard, I believe, throughout the entirety of the season.
I'm frightened. I'm terrified. I'm scared. Because I actually agree with Nick Wright. I mean, look,
there we go.
The Clippers and the Bucks are 1-2, and TJ Warren looks like Michael Jordan. I mean, look, let's not overreact to what's going on in the bubble. And
it's
look,
bizarre
LeBron,
world.
It is bizarre world. And LeBron has made references to, adjusting and things off the court that he didn't want to get into. He mentioned after the game. He's obviously said he misses his family desperately and his mother. So maybe there's some stuff off the court where he's just adjusting to not being with his family. It's stunning to see him, of all people, shoot 42% because LeBron is always an efficient scorer. It's stunning to see Anthony Davis have 9 points in a game because you rarely see a player of that stature, Joel Embiid notwithstanding, ever have a game where they score in single digits. So it's a bit odd, but I'm not going to overreact like Nick said. And one thing I think about LeBron, if you just go back in his history, I remember his rookie year, preseason looked bad. And his first game ever, which I was at in Sacramento, he plays like a Hall of Famer right away. as soon as he gets in the NBA, 28 points. We've seen him in the past at times struggle in the regular season, particularly in Cleveland last year, at times just coast, and then here come the playoffs, and he turns it up. I think that LeBron, do meaningless games really mean anything to him? And especially at this stage of his career. So he may just be coasting, getting himself in shape, trying to get other guys involved. And I have no doubt that when the playoffs come, we will see the real LeBron James. But what is a little bit concerning is the shooting, because they have gotten open looks and they have been missing. And they're not a great three-point shooting team anyway. They were 23rd in the league in three-point percentage. So that has to change. When Kyle Kuzma's your most consistent guy, that's a bit scary.
So, Nick, tell me if you subscribe to this theory. There's an old joke. It says if, someone's got to be the number one heart surgeon in America, and he put on, of course, I'm the number one heart surgeon in the world. It's all right, well, if we're going to start ranking heart surgeons, that means someone is dead last in heart surgery, and someone's got an appointment with him this week. So when LeBron talks about big games, we know he shows up for big games. He shows up. We know he's going to show up on Christmas. We know he's going to show up in the playoffs. And when you looked at this schedule and we talked about how important the number one seed was for him, he clinched it. They're not going after their buck, so it's literally nothing to play for. I think you can take sort of a mental vacation. I'm not putting any sort of credence into this game at all.
Good. So I thought Jenna was going to jump in. My apologies. Go ahead, Jenna. Yes, please. No, Jenna, go.
Can something be said for momentum? Can something be said for these guys were off for a couple of months?
Good question.
Sure, it was a meaningless game. They already clinched the top seed, but how about ramping it up and working on that three-point shooting and working on all the little things?
Well,
can something be said for what that ramp up would look like heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, so I guess 2 points there. One is the shooting part. No matter how meaningful or meaningless a game is, you're always trying to make jump shots, and they are just missing open jump shots. Now, I am hesitant to say it's the sight lines. It's weird. We hear about shooters in different arenas, how it feels for them. Because I did hear before the bubble started, some shooters say it is perfect for shooters because of the sight lines. So I just think they are just flatly missing open shots. And this is why I do think for the Lakers, that one seed that they clinched a few days ago is so critically important for them, because they are going to, particularly LeBron, be able to get back in the flow of things in games that matter against whomever they play in that 8 spot is going to be a bad defensive team. Whether you get New Orleans, Memphis now without Jaren Jackson, which is falling apart, or Portland, LeBron is going to get back in rhythm offensively in that first round series. Had they not taken the regular season seriously, Broussard, I would be more concerned right now, because you'd be staring at a first round matchup potentially against Dallas, who has a great player. I heard a scurrilous rumor last night, Broussard, that you went on the radio and said that they've got the greatest 20-year-old player of all time. I couldn't believe it was true. Whoever said it to me, I was like, no, Broussard, as much as I love Luka, Broussard wouldn't have said that about LeBron. But regardless, they've got a great player, and that could be, you go into a Mavericks series with no home court advantage and a cold, and they put 125 on you in game one, and all of a sudden it's an uphill battle. So I think, Chris, because they're the 1 seed, they're going to be able to ramp up once the playoffs actually begin. And yeah, they got to hit shots. Danny Green's got to hit his open shots, Broussard, and LeBron's got to play well. He hasn't played well yet, except at the very end of the Clipper game. I just don't think that will repeat itself.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, I think you're overstating the value of the 1 seed. It certainly helps because I think they're getting Portland. And while Portland isn't great defensively, and certainly they don't have an answer for LeBron James, they do shoot the lights out. And because of the play-in game, which I'm certain is going to happen, or play-in series, I think that the Lakers won't have, they won't know exactly who they're facing in that first round, like the other seeds in the West. So it won't be as huge of an advantage, I don't think, as you're saying. But I do think that the Lakers will win it, whoever they play. And I think by the time they get to the second round where they've got a team, maybe a Houston, that can challenge them, I expect them to be playing well, particularly LeBron James to be playing well. I did say Luka has been the best 20-year-old we've ever seen statistically, leading his team.
True.
Now, I'm willing to rethink it. I'm willing to rethink it.
Okay.
But statistically, and as far as leading his team to the playoffs in the mighty West, it's hard to argue. Only two players have done what he's done.
To Nick Wright pressure, Broussard.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm thinking. I'm willing to think about it. But Luka he's accomplished more than LeBron did at 20. He's accomplished more.